simultaneous with your specific financial objectives. This show is
getting ready to go live right now. Right now. And hello, South Florida. Welcome to another live edition of the Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program and America's longest running daily radio show, all about the topic of real estate. My name is Eric Willner, and I'm your host here. We are live Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. until 5:30 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. We are live here 5 days a week. That is right here live at 5. And we are also rebroadcasting our shows Sunday nights from 9 until 11 p.m. Join us again on our show there. So between the several radio stations here in South Florida, the iHeartRadio network, the TuneIn network, the Spreaker network, you can always go also to our website at automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com. In fact, it's a great place to go because not only can you hear our show live Monday through Friday, you can hear the archives there going back quite a number of years where our show is archived in chronological order there. You can also see the write-up. So if you go to the top of the page there where it says the Real Estate Show, you go to the Real Estate Show notes. And in that section, you can read, in fact, we've been including some new features there. We have the summary, the written notes that we talked about on the show that day. We have the quote of the day, and I got another one for you today. We have on all of the links to get to all of our resources also there. So check out automaticlandlord.com. There's always something new showing up there, so it's good to come back and check in there at automaticlandlord.com. Listen to the show, watch the show, and benefit. We're also live on our Facebook page. If you're a subscriber to Facebook, just look for The Real Estate Show. Or you can also go to our Facebook page. If you're not a subscriber, all you have to do is go to our facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. Anyway, we got a super good show for you today. Today is our midweek report, and I have a number of topics that I want to cover for you. Before I get started, though, I want to give out our dedicated text line. Now, this is an important line because also it's how you get the free reports. It's how you request a contact from our office. No one will call you unless you call us first at 561-861-2366. That's 561-861-2366. Also on both places, the automaticlandlord.com, there's a place where you can set up an appointment to talk to us on your schedule. You can go to our Facebook page. There's a book appointment there as well. So here we are. The day has finally arrived, and the barbarians have stayed behind the fortress wall, and we inaugurated a new president, and now we have the outlook for the year ahead of us. Yesterday, I dropped a little bit of a hint about something that Biden is proposing. No longer president-elect, but President Biden is proposing a $15,000 first-time homebuyer tax credit. And if it goes through the way they're talking about it, home buyers, and those of you who have been texting in the DPA, to that number, that 561-861-2366, we're putting together an updated version now, including this proposed first-time homebuyer tax credit. Imagine being able to access a tax credit for $15,000 and use it right now as a down payment on a property. Yep, you heard it first. You learned it first right here on the Real Estate Show. So we also looked at FHA, which could also reduce its monthly insurance premiums under the new leadership. And there's an elephant in the room, mortgage rates, which have lately been on the rise a little bit. What's the prognosis for that? So we got a whole bunch for you as we go through this show. Remember, our Monday shows sets the tone, sets the theme, and the agenda of the week. all you have to do is go back to our radio show site at automaticlandlord.com and you click on the radio show notes for the Monday show, and you'll see exactly what we're going to be talking about for the entire week. Everything is set up, agenda, prepared, and you can pick which shows. Quite frankly, I think each one, because they're all live and they're all different, you're going to get something out of each one of our real estate shows Monday through Friday. And Tuesdays, we talk about sort of the tools, the tips, the techniques about what we're using, what's working in the marketplace right now. And we were talking about the various forms of earning equity without cash, how you can have more down payment assistance. That's been kind of our theme here that we've been talking about all week long. Now, anyone looking to buy a home today is likely frustrated by the sky-high prices and the slim pickings that are out there in the marketplace. But the now President Joe Biden, who takes office today, will aim to ease those issues as he gears up to implement his plans for the housing market. So yes, there's a complete topic just on housing, on what he's going to do, from home financing to home construction. He's got plans that are focused on affordability, which would be good. That's definitely one of the challenges right now. And here are some of the policies that he says he's going to push for. A, we already talked about the $15,000 first-time home buyer tax credit. B, he's going to be urging big banks to get back into FHA lending. Now, many of them have been kind of leery, and understandably so, because they've been frozen in their tracks and have not been able to collect on this because of this moratorium. So no foreclosures, and as a result, many people have used this as an opportunity, or to keep themselves on level footing while this pandemic continues to rage on. We also see a part in there where he's encouraging new construction of both single family and multifamily dwellings. Yesterday, I was with a mastermind group of experts in the real estate market. We were talking about the prognosis, and I'm going to tell you that multifamily is big and loud on the radar here for this coming year. In fact, many of the big funds have actually slowed down buying individual houses, and what they're doing is that they're buying up big pieces of land and they're doing build to rent projects. That means that they're building houses, townhouses, multifamily units with the intention not of selling those individual units. So it's not helping the inventory right away. It is alleviating the rental market, which of course, without inventory, more and more people are being forced to rent. So one of the more reasons why, if that's your problem, then to our special dedicated text line, 561-861-2366. Remember, text the word DPA for the down payment assistance report. You want to text the word credit if credit is your obstacle there. And if the down payment is the issue, or just finding the property, type in the word equity. Text it to 561-861-2366. Now, in December, the number of homes for sale fell, in fact, plummeted nearly 40% compared with December 2019. Competition for what was on the market was fierce. We saw bidding wars in certain price ranges, with a typical home selling in just 66 days. That's 2 weeks faster than a year before, and about a month faster than what is considered normal. 90 days is sort of the days on the market standard by which a lot of this is measured by. So the chief economist at Realtor.com, not for the NAR, I'm going to talk about him later, but she said, looking forward, we could see new inventory lows in the next couple of months as buyers remain relatively active, but a surge of new COVID cases may slow down the number of sellers entering the marketplace. So COVID is not helping the market in terms of inventory, because less people want people who may be carriers of COVID, walking through their house looking to sell. So they'll put off selling. Even distressed folks right now with the moratoriums are not putting their houses on the market for sale. So there are a lot of inhibitors to the inventory. And like I said, the building is incentivizing build and rent situation. So I don't see an alleviation of the inventory problem anytime soon. Now, the moratorium situation seems to get pushed back. Now it's officially pushed back to February 28th. And I will not be at all surprised to see it pushed back even further by the new administration. Again, another problem for inventory. Home prices are also rising at the fastest pace that they've been in the last 6 years, according to CoreLogic, more than 8% higher in November than a year before. So driven by record low interest rates, people can pay more. Pandemic-driven demand for buyers looking for larger, and note this, suburban homes has been incredibly under pressure. Several proposals from the Biden housing plan could take the pressure off both home prices and the supply of houses for sale, with changes potentially coming to both lending and home construction markets. So like I said, first things first. Well, let me dive into this more deeply after our break. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, hear a few words from our sponsors. Then we're going to go. We got tons of material here, new breaking news with the new administration here for housing. You want to keep it right here. You want to stay here with the Real Estate Show. You want to tune in Monday through Friday. Remember, we're here live with the latest in the news here on the Real Estate Show. So don't touch that dial. My name is Eric Willner. I'm your host, and I will be right back. Hey, who's on the board today? Hello? Hello, hello? Anybody there? Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let me see if I can fix this because I've got a really bad reverb going back into my ear. I had to take my headphones out. But no response. Hopefully we'll see. Hopefully you're hearing me now because I was getting my own sound back into my ears really loud. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us, you're listening to The Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program about real estate, America's longest running daily radio show about real estate. And I don't know if the engineer or the board operator can hear me, but I'm hearing myself louder than me talking over myself. So if you can correct that, that would be great. Anyway, as we were talking about some of the new tax breaks and things going on for first-time home buyers, President Biden is proposing a $15,000 first-time home buyer. So keep that in mind. This is for first-time home buyers, a tax credit which could be accessed immediately by the buyer, thereby serving as a down payment, or down payment assistance. Again, if you want more information, text DPA, the letter DPA to 561-861-2366. This won't last. It's not an unlimited amount of money in this pot for this tax credit. High home prices, along with the strict lending standards, which have made it hard for young buyers to come up with the cash needed to secure a mortgage, this would definitely be a great help. First-time buyers, by the way, defined as those who have not purchased a home in at least 3 years. So you could have owned a home before. This is not for first time ever. It's just people who haven't owned a home in the last 3 years qualify. Now, the nation's home builders who have had a difficult time keeping up with the demand could also get a boost from President Biden. They've been hampered by the high cost of land, labor, materials, and regulations. And the restrictive immigration policies also added to those high costs, obviously a shortage of labor in that department. And so as the construction industry flourished again, some workers were still afraid or unable to come back to the U.S. So you can see that the DAC may be a factor in there. Plus, some of the trade wars hit builders where they live. Prices for everything from lumber and concrete to metal increased dramatically. So the tariff trade wars, and that's what we're really talking about here, have raised the cost of goods and services. Lumber from Canada got ridiculously expensive compared to what was just a year ago. Labor shortage due to the immigration policy I just talked about, and more have made it difficult to build homes fast enough. So we will see that loosen up a bit. I don't think that in a Biden regime, some of what will loosen up and builders are going to want to do everything that they can take advantage of the tax credit for sure. They'll be offering that once they catch up and find out. But given the sheer volume of economic stimulus that we put in there, we're talking about close to $9 trillion. And I'm talking about loosening the bond buybacks, not just the most recent 2 more trillion that's on the table, but quite a bit more. So all this will not come without a cost down the road, which is why I've been saying that the time to buy real estate, when you can buy with 3% fixed rates for 30 years and sometimes lower than that, then I'm going to tell you to run, don't walk, to buy a property. And if you want help with that, then all you have to do is type in the word discovery. If you want to discover some of the secrets as to how to buy properties in today's market without getting into bidding wars, type the word discovery to 561-861-2366. You can do that right now. This is all automated. You can do this while I'm on the air. Now, FHA lending certainly needs to take a bigger role. FHA is what helps a lot of first-time home buyers with very low 3% down payments. So the prospects are far better, and for another type of relief coming for lower income buyers, and that's a drive to increase lending, or the role of lending of big banks in FHA. Because while FHA is a program, it gets distributed through the banks. And so that's an opportunity for the administration to cut prices on the insurance premium. And that's what they're talking about, is lowering the costs of an FHA, which then can be passed along by the banks, who are also being incentivized to get more into this. Big banks exited FHA lending almost entirely after the Great Recession because of the enforcement actions that came against them for how they managed the program. So they were hit with these actions under the False Claims Act, resulting in very expensive settlements for FHA lending. Independent mortgage bankers stepped in and now not only dominate the FHA space, but also account for the majority of FHA lending. And so that's one of the reasons why, if that's something that you want to learn more about, again, type in the word DPA. I'll know that you're talking about the lending, the down payment assistance, and the special loans that we hope to see loosen up a little bit. Big banks could not only help broaden the availability of more affordable mortgages, thanks to their ample capital, they have it, the distribution system, but they're also bound by the Community Reinvestment Act, which they have to put a certain amount back into their local communities, particularly those that are within the CRAs, which non-banks aren't bound to do that. Banks have a statutory obligation to commit to reinvest funds from communities that they make or take deposits from. They got to put some of that money back in there. And so Biden was saying, and through some of the folks that he's elected or appointed, they want to strengthen the CRAs and make it apply to non-bank lenders as well. So that could be very interesting because that's already in play and the flow's already there. So that puts an obligation in place. And I think you'll hear more about that in the Senate Banking Committee as they start meetings with the new administrations. So I wanted to cover that. Then I wanted to change gears a little bit as we look forward. Now, new administration, new year, everything now is hopefully new policies and new vaccines coming out. I just saw another version approved. I saw that the Pfizer was now deemed as reliable against the new UK strain of the coronavirus. So what does that mean, right? 2020 certainly had its fair shares of ups and downs. And we know one thing for sure, the real estate market not only met expert predictions, but surpassed them, breaking records along the way. So with that in mind, there's only one blaring question right now that I hear over and over, and that is, will the housing market in 2021 follow the same trajectory? Are we facing a possible downturn? Now, I won't get to all of my prediction information, and I'll talk more about it throughout the week. But let's take a little bit more of a dive into what's leading the real estate market experts now to project what will happen in 2021. And let me tell you that there is a lot more positivity or optimism than there is negative. Obviously, I'll tell you that the big question mark hanging over the marketplace right now is COVID at this point, more than anything else. Interest rates are projected to stay low. As I mentioned before, with the economy that we're in right now, raising interest rates will affect all industries, and there are certain industries which couldn't even they're struggling as it is with low interest rates, that higher interest rates would make it just impossible for them to continue. It's also an economic stimulus on its own, so I don't think that we're going to see that touched anytime soon either. So one of the biggest drivers, and it is, for this year's booming real estate market is these record low mortgage rates, and you can expect them to continue. And I'm going to dive a lot more into the mortgage aspect of my predictions tomorrow in our ATM edition of the Real Estate Show. You know, Thursdays is always our ATM, or About the Money, and we talk about financing, because you can't have a long conversation about real estate without brushing up against the topic of how we're going to pay for it, because ultimately somebody does pay the down payment. Ultimately, whether it's our down payment assistance programs, your own savings, gifts, etc. We talked all about that in our Tuesday show. Remember that. So if you missed our Tuesday show, go back to automaticlandlord.com and listen to our Tuesday show. If you missed our Monday agenda, again, go to the Monday show. And again, if you later on want to re-listen to the high points of our projections, our new stimulus that's coming out, because affordability is the big deal right now. And that's why tomorrow will be very, very important, because affordability reached one of the highest levels in the last, get this, 30 years. And there's a chart, and I'm going to probably post this chart on our website later on, which is the Housing Affordability Index from 1990 until today. And you'll see that affordability, understandably, was highest during the Great Recession years, back in 2008 through 2014, 15-ish. And then you saw the affordability drop from 15 to 16, 17, 18. And now in 19, the affordability index started to come up again as things slow down. Interest rates dropped to their record lows. 2020, the affordability dropped again because of the demand and the shortage of inventory. And I predict that the affordability, unless some of these stimulus activities that we talked about, if they don't improve some more, we're going to see affordability decline. Prices continue to go up. Home sales, okay, that's the number of properties, are projected to grow by 7%. If you thought we were busy last year, just wait till this year. It's going to get even more. That's because experts are predicting a 7% increase in home sales compared to last year. And this signifies one big piece of news. We'll likely see an increase in inventory, whether it's hesitant homeowners who waited out the pandemic or brand spanking new houses from home builders. Anyway, I got the music coming in my ear along with a lot of other noise. But we'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully with a clear transmission and a lot more information here on the financial side of things. So until then, this is Eric Willner signing off for The Real Estate Show. Until tomorrow, remember, drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Hey, who's this? Oh, man. Hello? Hello, hello.